provided some certificates of recognition for dedicated leadership in public education and continuing service to the children of their community. So, Justin Ray, thank you for your service. And Allison. Stone, yes. Linda. Barry White. Derek Lerner. Dale Dillon. And when I was at an MSBA legislative session, a year or two ago, the executive director of MSBA read a one-dad for board members, and I just thought it would be interesting to you, and I asked her if I could then share that with you. So this was something that was presented by executive director of MSBA. Wanted. Board members for growing complex enterprise in highly regulated industry must stay focused on core business despite disparate stakeholder demands, uncertain funding, critical labor shortages, and politically charged environment. Must be highly skilled at dealing with sensitive and divisive issues and may jeopardize family relationships, health, and/or career. Must be able to withstand intense media scrutiny of professional and personal life. Must be willing to devote long hours and work for free. Future of nation is at stake. So, I thank you personally for your service to your school and community, and MSBA provides their thanks to you as well.
Well, the old business. This is the second reading of the Missouri School Board Association policy updates. There's quite a few.
There were, and so those updates were provided to you. Again, I provided with you a summary of what those changes were, because that, 164 pages, just to make sure that you had a clear understanding of what those were. Didn't see anything that looked concerning to me. It looked like a majority of them were due to cleaning up some policies and to updating according to some new laws. So, were there any other questions on those policy updates?
Do I have a motion to approve the updates?
I'll make that motion.
Second by Bob. Any discussion about them? All in favor? All right, the MSBA board input, community health services.
You'll remember last month we brought this MSBA board input question. MSBA would like input from its boards regarding mental health services. And so their question is, does your community need more mental health services? And they provided some additional questions to think about. Many people believe that Missouri needs more accessible community mental health services for both children and adults. Does your board agree? If so, which ones would you wish were more available or more accessible to your community? What types of services would benefit the district's students and families? And what types of services does your district offer students? What types of services would your board offer if possible? So, input from the board.
Well, I'm hoping with the Katy Trail, I mean, a lot of it one is what the Katy Trail is supposed to offer us, where they can, it'd be nice if we had more screens available to the kids, maybe, where they could be, someone to talk to, they could be referred that wouldn't cost them anything, where they could get counseling or help that wouldn't, cost their parents, which is usually the problem, I think. And free access where they could do it here at school where nobody knows about it either. Which I'm hoping maybe that's what Katy Trail helping they actually get it going here will be able to accomplish for us.
And for the board's information, the social worker that we will be working with through Katy Trail here at the school is supposed to be starting in March. Referrals have been made already to Katy Trail, and they're working through those to get started. So
how does that work, the referrals to Katy Trail?
they have specific forms. Have our staff members been provided those forms yet? From the trauma-informed leadership team kind of took this on as their task to inform our staff, and then they now have their own district email that we send those forms to.
if teachers or parents, we've had a couple parents reach out as well, have a concern or want something like that, then, we go to the counselor's office, and there is a form, an actual form from Katy Trail that starts the process and goes through that, with them, and then, Katy Trail takes over kind of the paperwork from there, but there's an initial report, that we fill out to start the process.
So, I didn't make my question specific enough. With the referrals, if we're referring a student, are we doing this after we've discussed this with the parents?
Yes,
or-
we have to have parent permission in order to make the referral, yeah.
And her room's already, right? We're just waiting for her to show up, or
Mhm.
just, not her, him or her.
Mhm.
And to clarify something Barry mentioned, it's not necessarily free, it just, their insurance will be billed like normal.
Mhm.
But
they
if,
go
but if,
through all
I mean,
that.
if a student doesn't have insurance, are they still eligible to, I guess at that point they might qualify through Katy Trail for,
Mhm.
so can a parent, let's say something happens, can a parent call here and say, hey, we had happen home, can you
Yeah.
have,
We've
they
had
can have
that,
to refer their own kids in?
we've already had that with one of our
Okay.
referrals, the parent called and says, you know, they're going through some things and asked if, you know, if they could have some counseling services, so.
Anybody else have anything?
No, that's about the social work we're talking about.
All right, move on to admin reports, Mr. Eddington. Yeah, big long, lot of stuff.
Yeah, the first page we talked about there's teachers, we had 2 or 3 different meetings talking about what to do with, the extra events and how we wanna rearrange our day. And we talked about kinda eliminating tiger time classes, kinda extending our classes to nearly an hour of each, and so we still have 7-hour classes, but extending it, kinda make up some of that instructional time per se. The next page, it shows the graphs of our evaluate scoring over the last, few months, and if you it shows you what September, October, November, December, and January. The reason they're lumped in 2 groups or months of 2 is because we don't give all the kids testing on standards all in 1 month. You remember, it's a span over 2 months. So that's where that is. And the biggest piece, and I think you can see this from Ms. Hammers as well, is the growth from our below basic, getting some of those kids out of below basic into the basic section is a real big deal. And then on mine, since I have black and white copy there for you, the top is below basic and the bottom is advanced. And so you can see how some of those advanced groups are growing and the below basics are shrinking, and that's the growth we wanna see, in both sections. So, I think over the course of the 6, tests that we've had, or assessments, you know, checking on that, our kids are continually growing, really well, so. K-Singer was, a little a week ago, our teams did well, they both brought home a trophy, which is great. Our boys were competing in the championship game for the first time in a while. Big thing there is the art show as well. We have a handful of kids, tons of kids doing great at the art show there at State Fair as well. And then tomorrow night, senior night, so come up and enjoy some ball games against State Art tomorrow night.
Well, the art show is out here,
Yeah.
next to
All
office,
those
all the
kids
kids
are
look at
ribbon.
all the art that everybody look at.
I think all those kids are ribbon. And then next
All the
week,
stuff.
FFA week, so a lot of things going on. So, oh yeah, got back from Nevada on Saturday. The kids brought home a massive trophy. It's in my office, and I meant to bring it over. So maybe when we look at that, I'll bring it over. It's awesome. First place at Show Choir on Nevada on Saturday was awesome.
Rodney, on that, when we add the minutes, what's that make the total classroom time? For
Oh,
class?
per class.
Yeah, well, for high school, since there's 7.
Well, it kind of depends. We have not mapped out. It's going to be 57, 58 minutes. Depends on how the timeline works out. We may do first hour an extra few minutes to kind of give the start of the day
Okay,
to
so
do
we're
big
gonna
attendance, lunch
push real
count.
close to an hour.
Yeah, it's going to be almost 60 minutes per hour.
Cool.
57 to 60 depends on the place.
That'll work.
Ms. Hammers.
It's been a big month, been a big year with federal programs, so I know I gave you a lot of information there. So we did a parent evaluation this month, which was a survey that we sent home. We've gotten a few more back since I gave you the results, not many, just a couple. So we've gotten around 60 responses, which was more than I expected. We usually get a lot less than that. But as you can see, it was very favorable. There are some things, some takeaways from that for us to improve as we move forward. We're gonna move our, meeting to the evening. We're gonna try a couple different, advertisements for our meeting. And then, I've been looking online and found a Title I brochure that kind of explains what Title I is and things like that, that another state is using and would like to create our own, to pass out in the fall at open house, so that can help inform our parents a little bit more. We are looking at new reading materials for next year. Ours are, not meeting our needs. So we have narrowed down 2 vendors. We met as a group yesterday, the teachers and I, and we're going to look at a series through Harcourt, Houghton Mifflin, and then another one through Pearson. I talked with one rep today. We'll be talking with another one tomorrow. They're gonna send us samples, and then after we take a look at the samples, we're gonna set up webinars with the reps so that they can go over their program with us before we make a final decision on the direction we'd like to go. And then I shared with you, how we've been doing, making our progress to evaluate, and I gave you some color copies of that to make it easier to see, because I know when you blew it up on your computers at home on the digital, it was a little fuzzy to read. But we're making great growth. We celebrated that today. I went around and passed out some candy to almost all of our kids for making growth, not necessarily being proficient or advanced, but just raising their score and making that growth and putting forth the effort that they need when they take that test. We're using this information as we are going through our curriculum and doing our curriculum work as to where we are and what we really need to focus on for the second half of the year. So it is important to us, and we want it to be important to the kids as well. So that's all I have. Any questions about anything that I gave you?
Is this measure of growth, is that in their comprehension?
It tests a lot of different things, but mainly Evaluate focuses on vocabulary. It focuses on comprehension and, what's the other one? Help me, ladies. Comprehension, vocabulary, and speaking and listening. It hits all of the areas of reading except for like them actually reading out loud, put it that way.